CB60. You're not going to vote because it's going to happen, but in terms of dealing with the issues, one might say this is sort of a touchstone kind of thing where you have the residential community up in arms in a sense, and you've got the agricultural community saying, hey, we've got to make a living, we've got to use our farm, we need these products. So the question is, how would you deal with these issues? And we'll start with Jim.
This isn't a new thing for me. When I was on the Board of Appeals for 10 years, I heard both sides of every argument, and we had to come down to a decision. Now, at the Board of Appeals level, our decisions were based solely on the law as it existed. What I'm looking forward to do as county council is to listen to both sides and then come to a consensus. Now, we're never going to make everybody happy. I mean, that's reality. Nobody's going to win 100%, and nobody should lose 100% as long as they at least have some valid points to set forth. In law, we always have a saying that when you have a settlement negotiation, both sides should be leaving the table half happy and half sad, kind of mixed in the middle. We have to strike a balance. I mean, that's the reality. I mean, there's a lot of competing interests. And as your county council member, I would listen to both sides of the story, and we'd come up with it, based upon the facts that are presented to us. And I want to emphasize it's based on the facts that are presented to us, not necessarily the emotions. Because I've been to a lot of Board of Appeals hearings, and I've been to a lot of county council meetings where people get very emotional about an issue, but they don't necessarily do a good job in presenting their facts. Thank you.
Someone else like to chime in?
I can answer that question more definitively. I've been a strong critic of CB60 as it was initially proposed, and my issue was the health and safety of the wells. There are some amendments that correct some of those, and I'd like to talk to Ted a little bit more to get his feelings about how successful those will be. I think for use on the farm, mulching, composting is absolutely what should be there. That if CB60 were only that, there would have been very little opposition. As it enters into the industrial commercial area, it becomes more problematic and more difficult to regulate and to maintain safety. So if we had a really strong enforcement agency in the county, then I think we could maybe consider larger operations. But at this point in time, our enforcement agency isn't strong enough or staffed well enough to ensure the safety of the wells and the air and pollution that could be generated from it. So it's a little bit of a nuanced answer, but I would want to see strong amendments to the current bill. And if we might be there, Ted, do you think that we are? If Ted says so, maybe. I've got a few questions for him afterwards.
I'll explain that.
Okay, thank you.
I would have voted against the bill that was presented back in June. I don't think it really even represented a lot of the things that came out of the task force. I don't know how that happened, but from what I'm hearing, I'm hopeful that they've amended it enough that it's something that I could support. For me, it obviously is the health issues, but it is also the nuisance issues. And when you talk about predictability, you can't dial back the clock that neighborhoods were built next to farms. And if we had it all to do over again, maybe we would have educated people better, but we did. And see, you've got residents living next to farms, and it's tough to keep moving the ball on them. We move the ball on the farmers a lot too. So well, we need to create a sustainable environment for farmers, for the farms to prosper, and I want them to be able to do the mulching and composting that they need to do. It's yet another situation where predictability is tough. You got to create predictability for folks, but I do think it's going to end up being something that I would vote for. So.